Well, that was incredibly easy. It has been correctly pointed out to me that I do of course now have access to the Tome of Earth Magic, which means I am now actually able to use one of the absolute best spells in the game, Town Portal. And it was my intention, if I'm allowing myself to use Fly, I'm allowing myself to use Dimension Door, then it does more or less follow that we can probably also use Town Portal. I do already know probably what my next Heroes 3 series is going to be, so I need to stop feeling like I need to show mercy. We don't need to show mercy. We're just going to do as much damage as we can, as quickly as we can. We do have a few movement points here, so we don't have to rush straight back. So I did have a look at this. We have a bit of a choice. We can go for Earthquake, which means we don't have to hang on to this as much. We could go for Counter-Strike, which is a spell I almost never use, but we don't otherwise have access to it. We could also try going for the School of War, which does cost us a bit of money, which is fine. But it also makes Wrathmont slightly stronger. The only thing is, I'm not sure he has enough movement points to do that and Town Portal. I think he does. Okay, let's go for extra defense, because we are proving ourselves to be a bit of a spellcaster. Let's go for Town Portal, and we are going to go to Lakenshire. This is, I think, simply the best thing we can do. So we go to Lakenshire. We bring these two together. Okay, so we're swapping spells around, so now both of these heroes have access to Clone, Inferno, Earthquake actually, so glad we didn't go for that. Armageddon, Counter-Strike too. Yep, definitely glad we didn't go for that. Okay, so this is +5 attack. So we do want Wrathmont to be the better of the two heroes. He's still going to be the one we really rely on. So we're going to swap a few of these artifacts around. So this is +8 net power. This is +4 attack and defense. This guy is really our main spellcaster, so we will keep the Dragon Scale armor on Todd. The Quiet Eye of the Dragon will keep too. Some of this stuff though can be passed across. We definitely don't need this. A lot of this stuff we don't really need, but it's also a bit too bad for Todd to use as well. We will take the Shield of Naval Glory. So at this point, Wrathmont is level 23. He has upper 20 in each of his stats. The rest of this stuff is probably not worth taking. This moves us towards the Bow of the Sharpshooter. We probably don't need the extra morale or luck, but luck is the one we can get rid of the most safely. Rest of this stuff I think we do hang on to. So if we just... Before we do anything, in fact, we're going to go to this town, which should be, I think, our safest town. The reason we're doing this is I can never turn down a bit of free gold. So we pick up Galere, we put him in the town. He's going to give us 350 gold per turn. Should ultimately pay for itself, plus gives us a little town defender, which could be pretty handy. Then let's check out how many movement points Todd actually has. So he has plenty. He has plenty of movement points, he has plenty of spell points. So what we're going to do with him is we're going to... Hang on. I've forgotten to give him the thing I meant to give him. There we go. So now Todd has Town Portal. But Todd, of course, does not have advanced Earth Magic yet, which is a big problem. So could he actually level up? Is there a way we could do that? So he currently needs about 1200 experience points, which is quite doable, and we are in fact guaranteed to get that advanced Earth Magic if we can do that. The crypt will have been taken down. This is a bit too far. Does he have Fly? I'm trying to remember. He does have Fly. So if we go for Fly, take on either the Crusaders or the Minotaurs, escaping some of that movement penalty. We can maybe do a bit more this turn. Crusaders I think should be enough, Minotaurs definitely will be. Only risk here is if we do get attacked through the green 2A monolith, we could be in trouble, but I'm pretty sure we're safe. Can't remember exactly where that goes. I'm going to actually check that out because this is actually quite important. I'm actually having a pretty hard time figuring this out, so we might have to buy an extra hero just to scout that out, just to be safe. Tiva is getting some good scouting done, so we'll leave that for now. Halon is going to go through here. So Halon can't actually make it back to that town. He, of course, I think does have pretty good skills. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, Advanced Wisdom, that could come in pretty handy. So we don't want to get rid of him. We've already got, what's his name? Bertram in this town. So someone has got to tuck themselves in. Either that or we just get rid of Chana, which I have been leaning towards doing. She does have pretty good skills. She's level 5. But the absolute worst thing that could happen is if someone suddenly pops out of that portal, comes through, kills off Wrathmont, we're going to be in big trouble. Still, before we have to worry about that, we should still be safe to just go for Fly, and let's go ahead, take these on. So some losses are expected. I think we just go with our usual technique. Send those forward, start combat. So spell options, might not need to use any. So those go down nice and easy, these guys will wait, these wait too. Forced to go forward. We'll go forward slightly. Okay, so the wait phase begins, we can move these forward to go for repair. These have 12 hit points left, which is not great. They are the same speed as the Minotaurs, which also is a bit of a problem. We could go for the mass haste. Don't know if that really helps us that much. Let's just check, can these reach us? Okay, so I think what we actually do is we defend. Defend with all of our units, except for these. These go down. So if these get morale, that's the only risk. They could get morale, they could attack the Dreadnoughts. Then again, AI in this game is not that smart. What they should do is they should go to the left of the Dreadnoughts, then if they get morale they can come through and attack the Engineers. What they'll actually do is they'll attack the Dreadnoughts from the nearest hex possible, which should still mean the Engineers are pretty safe. So we're going to wait. Just double check they can't reach us. These wait too. These come in and go for the attack, which is fine. We do take that first loss. And now these should also come in and attack. We've used up our retaliation, so these wait. They go for that, we take a second loss, and this part I didn't think about so much. So we do want to go for that kill, of course, but the Engineers have to come in and repair us. So we're actually going to be forced to defend. Then these come in. We get those back. The problem is the next round, the Minotaurs do go before us. If we go for this, 10 to 13 kills is pretty good. I think, just to play it safe, we should probably just go for Lightning Bolt. Just focus on this. Yeah, I was trying to avoid using spell points, but it doesn't really matter. Pretty sure we do end the turn in the town. We do get that advanced Earth Magic as we wanted, and we want to go for Town Portal to Kurgar, and in Kurgar we're going to upgrade these Crimson Coatls, and that should be the last of the Coatls we play with in this playthrough. Can get up to 15 Juggernauts potentially if we want to. Do have to do a bit of trading for Crystal, but that's probably fine. Should we just let someone like Cuthbert go? We could. He does have basic estates. I'm going to send this guy back underground. He was scouting, of course, so we'll send him back to that job. Okay, Sandals of the Saint. So, Angelic Alliance is a very real possibility. Thing is, are we actually in danger? Could Wrathmont lose to anyone? He does have 7 spell points left. Wait, I've been confusing myself quite a lot. We don't need to release anyone. We can just get Victoria back. She just has a halfling, which is pretty slow, but we get to send her up through here. And we can see this leads to probably even more Cove Zone, although we're seeing some fortress dwellings. Slightly unexpected. Okay, could we easily get our hands on a lot of crystal? I don't think we can. I think we probably leave this as is. Let's stock up on the rest of the units we can definitely use. Do we take the bounty hunters too? I think we probably do. So Todd is going to become our actual proper army hero, and I think we're going to keep Wrathmont focused mainly on cheesing our opponents. So we do have to let someone go now, so that could be Victoria. She's honestly not that good. I think we have established that Wrathmont's pretty safe for this turn, so I think we just let it go. Then Wrathmont is free to leave. We'll leave him just in that space for now, ready for next turn. And I think we're fine there. So this means that Todd can go for Town Portal straight away next turn. He can pass the Tome of Earth Magic back to Wrathmont. Wrathmont then goes Town Portal back to the town of Gateway. And if Derek does break through, we've got a pretty good force to take him on. Not actually sure he can take on the Dreadnoughts. Still, not too much else we can do for the rest of this turn, so let's just end the turn there. Green I feel like is up to something. I think he's coming in our direction, but currently seem to be fine. He actually does break through that, wow. There's a Warehouse of Crystal there too, so I would like to go there. Okay, so Eanswythe does also have Fly. She can only really go for it once. She does have an Angel too. And this zone to our east looks... it looks pretty low level. Do we take the Trogs as fodder? I think we do. We're going to be stuck here for a while. Okay, so Titan's Gladius there. We're nowhere near strong enough to take that. We could go for the Stone Gargoyles, I think. Oh wow, actually there is a well there. So that makes this a pretty good place to go. Tiva goes for this, of course, and starts coming back. Elon has gone as far as he can up that way. Let's see what this is. Okay. Alright, so it's day 7, we should get a fresh batch of new units pretty soon. I think we still do what we plan to do, which is to go back to Lakenshire. Spend Todd's spell points, that's completely fine. Bring these two back together. Pass this back across. So now Wrathmont has got a total of, let's have a look, 270 spell points. His Armageddon is stronger than ever. Let's see exactly how strong. He also has, or will have, 9 Crimson Coatls. So, 1280 points of damage. Then, if we can reach this, there's an extra 50% on top of that. Someone did ask me, I did of course mention right at the start of the playthrough that Frenzy is this guy's specialty, and it would normally be a really good option with the Crimson Coatls. The problem is, when you have other types of units, it makes more sense to use Frenzy when you just have Crimson Coatls. The kind of classic Drakeageddon strategy does really make more sense. And I feel like Wrathmont with 9 Crimson Coatls probably could get away with just about anything. So I feel like that kind of wins. We're going to keep the Angel Wings on him because we don't want to waste spell points and Fly. Go across the gateway, and can we reach? Yes, we can. Still faster to move across the paths. Kinda surprised by that. Okay, so that's actually Dracon. We can't actually see where Derek's gone. I do want that Warehouse of Crystal. We could also go to the Warlock's Lab. It's also a really good option. Yeah, I think we do that. That allows us to trade some gems, 1-to-1 value. So we go to here, we're going to trade... I think 30 is fine. Then we go back to this. Ah, but this time Todd is stuck here. I didn't think that through. He doesn't naturally have access to Town Portal. So we'd have to get it from somewhere else. Mage Guild level 3. This town, I think, does cap out at level 4. is slightly off-putting. There is stuff he can do around here. And he does still have a strong force even without upgrading to Juggernauts. So yeah, I think we go for this. Make him as strong as we can. And we'll see what's to be found. Okay, the rest are probably fine where they are. I think Mage Guild level 3 here should be fine. Let's just do it. Wrathmont still has a bit of movement, so he will go straight to the south. If they're brave enough to come and attack us, they'll definitely regret it. So let's see what happens. So green is still, yeah, moving. No, that's back away from us. But someone's about to break through there. Teal shows up just there. That's kind of surprising. That I think is probably Derek. So he's smart enough not to take us on, but he does put himself right in our range. And I'm going to show why I think it's pretty unnecessary to do anything other than Armageddon. I hope I'm not wrong. We, with our Armageddon, are going to do 1280. So we go for Temporary Invulnerability, we go for Armageddon. They actually just about survive. And there we go, Derek gets immediately wiped out. We get all of his artifacts, including Summon Water Elemental, so we get actually some use out of Expert Water Magic if we do need a bit of extra meat. And then there are some other heroes we can hunt down. This stuff is all free for the taking too. I think we go to Todd first. He's not quite as strong, but he does have the bulk of our units. Okay, so to my surprise, okay. I thought this might lead to a town, but unsurprisingly it does lead pretty quickly into this zone. So what we could do is we could bring these two together, but there's probably no need. If we go down here instead, we can get some more crystal. If we town portal across to somewhere else. Yeah, we could go for Orb of Tempestuous Fire. Things start getting really easy for us at that point. Still want to take on the Magic Elementals, get the Library of Enlightenment, that would be good. Okay, well back in this town, we're going to go for the upgraded gantry. I guess Todd should pick up some extra Crimson Coatls. Let's check the tavern too. Okay, so Tancred has come back with a Gunslinger specialty. He could be a good choice. More of a conventional hero. Okay, let's have Halon continue to scout. Ah, of course, we've already done this. I thought that seemed a bit wrong. So obviously there's got to be a necropolis town right about here. And that would explain how Strake is going back and forth. Okay, so if we actually wanted to really deal some damage... It's surprising how few options we have. We don't actually border anyone that closely. There's an extra Helm of Heavenly Enlightenment there, which could be pretty good. There's the Dragon Utopia just there. Also, if we go through to this town once again, we can pick up the extra Crimson Coatls, go for the Throng of War Unicorns, pick up the extra speed. This is definitely the town we come back to. So we go back to Kurgar, we pick up 3 more Crimson Coatls. Not sure we can get this one back, but we'll try. Maybe we can. No, that's not going to be close enough. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, if we go straight out to the west, this is all then in reach. Dragon Utopia is pretty close. If, on the other hand, we go down in this direction instead, this is clearly the better option for the Drakeageddon strategy, which is hard to turn down. Always really fun, but I do really want to use Frenzy at some point. It is a fair point, I do want to use that. At the same time though, we can clearly get away with not doing that. Okay, Eanswythe will grab this. Get all our spell points back, and this should all be fairly easy. Just grab some resources. This all seems to be unclaimed. Okay, so Mage Guild level 4 is an option here. If we go back to the tavern, Tancred could be picked up here instead. Probably no need. We do of course also have access to a couple of prisons. So there is the prison just here, which is completely up for grabs. There's the prison to the west of the Unicorns, guarded by lots of ancient behemoths, so it must be a really good hero. But I don't think they come with any extra units. They might not matter too much. Okay, we'll end the turn there. Green I think will come for us at some point. We do see purple emerge from that direction. We see teal. Can't even keep track of where that is. Where is that? Okay, so teal comes out in this part of the map. So we could have potentially chased him down, but that is Dracon. Dracon's pretty weak. Let's stick with Wrathmont. So the big map objective, we just have to go for it. It's too good to turn down. Oh wow, okay. Maybe shouldn't have done this, but it's, again, pretty easy problem to solve. The other good thing about sticking with purely coatls is it does mean opponents are more likely to spawn in 7 stacks. Curious who this hero is. I think we're gonna have to let Chana go. I need to stop being so possessive of my heroes. Chana is not serving much of a purpose. Neither's Cuthbert, but Cuthbert does at least have estates. Okay, Cuthbert goes back to the town. Chana is now just going to be released. Grab a couple of gunslingers. Alon probably should be the next one to go. He does have that advanced wisdom, but that doesn't matter too much. Okay, so there is a path up here which should lead to a town. It's also only day 2, so I think going for the stables does make sense. Okay, so some loss is expected. See, so 26 kills per time. Not sure this is worth it to protect such weak units, but we're doing it. Fine, okay. Alright, so Todd next. Todd could go for this. What even is this? So it's a Sword of Judgment. Nah, I think a Horde of Juggernauts is still too much. He still doesn't have expert earth magic, so we can't slow them. Some interesting stuff to the west. Just see what this is. Okay, so not much to do in this town. If we go back to this town instead, could go for Mage Guild level 4. The problem is it's pretty hard to get Todd back there at this point, so I think we just end the turn. Teal could be a threat to one of our towns, but with Town Portal it's a lot easier to keep it safe. Just gonna focus on claiming a town. We do indeed see there is Sorrow Crown just there. Okay, so actually, supposedly a loss is expected. I think if we just lightning bolt these, should turn things in our favor. Yep. It's gonna be fine. Ah, crap, really? See, I'm still not good at knowing when to use quick combat. I can't believe that the AI somehow managed to lose Sentinel Automaton from that situation. I can't accept that. Should be no need to take any losses here. There we go, better. Okay, so Advanced Earth Magic versus Basic Scholar. We probably don't need Scholar, we've already got one Scholar. And that should be enough. Okay, so we go into the town, we're going to go for Mage Guild level 1. That will get us all of our spell points back. Wrathmont this should be a fun turn for. So a Horde of Giants, is this too much? Maybe we do this first. So we've got a Horde of Firebirds there, we do have the Orb of Vulnerability, we do have 15 speed, which I think is enough. I think. I wish I knew for sure. I'm going to check this. Okay, couldn't help myself, I did check that. They are 15 speed, which means we should get the first turn as the attacker. Ah, okay, but they do have Phoenixes. So how many losses do we take? 0 losses from that. We go for Invulnerability. Go for Armageddon. Wow, that did a lot less than I thought. I have definitely bitten off more than I can chew here. Should not have done that. Okay, 5 to 9 kills on these. We definitely go for this. Now for the rest of their turn, they can't really do too much to us. Get our next turn. This time if we go for Armageddon, we're in big trouble. So that doesn't actually work. If we go for Meteor Shower instead, 800 points of damage. Implosion also does take out a stack of our choice. Let's actually work this out. So this does 800 points of damage. Does an okay amount. If we could hit 3 stacks at once, that'd be fine. I think we have to be a bit careful with this. We do have Resurrection though. So actually we're probably fine. We just resurrect at the very end. Yeah, we're fine. So the question is, do we need to use anything other than Resurrection? Probably one Meteor Shower would make sense, but we don't want a Meteor Shower our own units. We go for Lightning Bolt, that does a pretty nice amount. Meteor Shower does make more sense. Let's check this out. So we need to resurrect about 500 hit points. Okay, we're fine. We're very much fine. Okay, so Phoenixes go down to Resurrection, they come back with their own respawn ability. We have 8 of these left. Kill these off. Phoenixes go down to that, we attack these then attack us. Next round though we should move first. Still, at this point it does make sense to resurrect. So this is another thing that we do have with Crimson Coatls over dragons. Although with Orb of Vulnerability we can still resurrect dragons, but still, hopefully you get my point. Okay, so here we go, Orb of Tempestuous Fire. That was actually a much tougher fight than Dragon Utopia. This is strictly worse than what we already have, but we'll take it. Actually do find yet another fly scroll. We'll go for this is very safe at this point. Surprisingly doesn't kill them off. Okay, Sandals of the Saints, Spellbinder's Hat, Cape of Silence. Some of this we don't want to equip, so Cape of Silence is, let's remind ourselves, the one that stops us using spells, low-level spells. So that could actually be useful in some very limited situations. Wayfarer's Boots we don't need, they're pretty much completely superseded by the angel wings. Check the rest of this stuff. So Sandals of the Saint, that is a good option in combat, but probably not really needed. Let's actually check this too. Ah, of course, we didn't even equip it. That explains a lot. Okay, Orb of Tempestuous Fire. I think we're fine not to equip Sandals of the Saint. I am going to go to the west. Should be fine to do this. So yeah, now we can see Expert Armageddon, 1900 points of damage. We go for that, almost everything goes down. We go in, we finish these off. 9,000 experience. We free a hero, we have got Melchior, who's a level 30 mercenary with Diplomacy specialty. And we can immediately give him some pretty good stuff. So let's have a look. So we can give him this. We can give him a lot of this stuff. Spellbinder's Hat we probably want to keep. Let's check these two. So this is +7. This is net +9. Let's swap those two round. This all seems fine. Okay, so Still Eye of the Dragon is nicer than Quiet Eye of the Dragon, so we'll swap those two around as well. Ring of Suppression. I'm going to keep the Cape of Silence. I can't think why we'd need it, but I think it does make sense to keep it. He does have a really weak starting force. If only we had Town Portal for real, that's the thing. That'd be really useful. But we've got the Fly Scroll, we've got Expert Wisdom. So Melchior can get back pretty easy. Yeah, so we send Melchior back to the town. Can't see any reason not to do that. He needs forces. Okay, so Todd can take on lots of Firebirds, which gets us an Imp Cache, a Pandora's Box, a Naga Bank. This has a chance of being Town Portal, but it's guarded by some Zealots. So this fight could actually be pretty tough. We're a lot weaker than we were. They can fly across from the first round. We do have the Expert Haste. That gives us +5 to our speed, which still isn't really enough. It means the Ulgokorko is speed tie, but that's it. Okay. I think that's just too risky. Gotta turn back. Eva will check all of this out, so nothing too great. Do we let her go? I think she's done enough. We'll let her go. Elon will go to this town, but he can't actually hide himself inside it, because that's where we put Galère, but we'll just leave that be for now. So Cuthbert is going to pass all of these across, and I wouldn't mind letting Cuthbert go, because I'd rather go for another hero like Melchior. We should be able to get pretty soon if we go to the west. So yeah, the next thing to do in theory, if we want to double down on the Armageddon strategy, is we want to go straight back to this town. We want to go out to the west, take on the War Unicorns, grab ourselves the extra speed from the Necklace of Swiftness in particular. Does lower our stats, but also means we get to go first, pretty much guaranteed. So we can bring our Crimson Coatls up to 18 speed. That means they're faster than pretty much everything except Phoenixes. So there's not really much they can do to us at that point. Okay, to the south there's a few things we could take on. Nothing super useful. There might be more Dragon Utopias we could go for, but again, for that we want to go back to Kurgar, and then go west. So, maybe we just do that. Okay, we'll upgrade this thing at last. Take a step out. that's probably fine for now. So, our precious resources seem good enough. I'm willing to risk this. We really want to learn Town Portal naturally. We don't get it, we get Clone, and we get Inferno, which we already have. Okay, it's worth the risk. Let's end the turn there. Teal is potentially the closest to our towns, but still can't reach us for a couple more turns. Okay, so Mana Vortex is very tempting. I think we just go for that. So double Eanswythe's spell points, yes. So we're up to 120 spell points. She's also pretty good. Oh wow, okay. Didn't realise there'd be that many. So we got the Meteor Shower for 275 points of damage, that should be plenty. Let's see if we can clump them up. Okay, that looks okay. I think we'll go in. Then let's wait, we should be able to take 1 round's worth of attacks. I think. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, so these move out. We'll go for the Meteor Shower. Can only hit 3 stacks, but that'll be plenty. We'll go back in. Kill those off. 3 level up, we'll go for Expert Earth Magic. Need to be careful not to do too much here, we're not actually that strong. So if we go for Fly, we could go for a bit of extra spell power. Come back to this at some point. Lots of Dendroid Soldiers is going to be too much for us, so she's really going to be a spellcaster. I think if we go for Fly and we go for this, that's probably fine. Let's go for Knowledge. Go for the Obelisk, and let's just open this up. I'm pretty tempted just to let this automaton go down, because it's proving to be a bit annoying to keep it alive. Can they reach? Nope, we're fine. Yeah, it's pretty easy to keep the automaton alive, it's just a bit annoying. Okay, so I'm not even sure what to do with Wrathmont next. I think Todd is going to go south, because we did see Teal go in this direction. Warehouse of Crystal could still be really useful to us. Okay, so Melchior goes for Fly and starts making his way across to here. Wrathmont goes to Kurgar and flies to the west. So where actually is Teal? Can't really keep up with this. He's at least a turn away from us. So he's not going to take our town. Okay, let's upgrade all of this. Leave it behind. Sam is going to come out and pick some things up. Guess Cuthbert can too. Okay, that should be fine for now. Let's end the turn there. So, green and teal pretty close to each other. They shouldn't be allied, so they might wipe each other out. Teal reappears up there, but it's not strong enough to take on the Archangels, so that's fine. Let's grab this. Horde of Vampires is going to be too strong for us. Not go for a Horde of Rogues either. Get the easy stuff. Okay, so I think first thing we want to do is get the Crimson Coatl. Probably can also get rid of some of these artifacts, but I guess Melchior has the better stuff. Melchior looks like a really powerful hero, like, he just has the portrait of a powerful hero somehow. Okay, so with the magic resistance, one stack does resist, and this is a rare case where invulnerability turn shows how useful it is, because we can come in and we can thin that out. So it's now at a similar level to the rest of the stacks. What do we want to do next? Meteor Shower does do a good amount. I think we do want to slow, just so we have control. Do still have the resurrection, of course, but most of our spell points have gone. Okay, so we can see a potential clump of 3, but it's still not close enough for us. See if there's anywhere we can safely go. We're actually safest where we are, so let's wait. This does not look much better. Okay. I guess we can just take these on. Then we wait. If we get a clump of 3, we'll go for it. Check these can't really reach us. They actually can. So that was the only real low-hanging fruit. Still, this should be fairly safe. So the luck does kick in and help us out. 184 hit points to go, we should be safe to wait. Okay, they actually managed to blind us, so we take a couple of extra hits. But still safe for now. $28 hit points to go. Now we can Meteor Shower. Does a nice amount. Want to try and save some of those spell points for the Ancient Behemoths fight. Pretty sure it's going to be another level 30 hero to pick up. Just too good to turn down. So if we go for Cure, that's going to bring us back. Have a look, 175 points of health, so that's probably the best option. Heal these off. Heal these off. Stack of 4 will reach us, but won't do too much damage. Okay, can we get away with not using any more spell points? I think we can. $21,000 experience, we reached level 25, so for all of that we're still 5 levels behind Melchior, but Wrathmont is gonna stay our main hero. Cape of Velocity, we'll grab the extra experience from this, and while we're here I think it does make sense just to open everything up. This might not be the wisest option. So is 49 spell points enough? Or Chaos Hydras, that's unexpected and not actually that useful. I mean, that actually kind of stops us doing our thing for now, unless we let the Chaos Hydras die, but that makes no sense. Okay, let's take those back. Yeah, so 49 spell points. Somehow Todd has begun to feel like a scout again, but he does have a really good force, so shouldn't take him for granted. Still, don't really want to take these fights. It's kind of weird, he does have a really strong force, but it's also hard to preserve. We can get Juggernauts with haste, That's going to make a big difference. Could also use Fly a bit more, but I don't think we need to. Okay, Cuthbert's going to go to this because why not? Sam is going to go to the west and grab some of this stuff. Should probably also build this up. So we have plenty of gold, plenty of wood, plenty of ore. Let's just go for this. End the turn there. So purple emerges in that zone, that's fine. They don't have direct access to us from there. Teal is pretty much just a glorified scout, so not going to worry too much about that. So things we could take on with just one angel. Probably not really too much. There is a prison there. But the more appealing prison would be this one. I'm going to do it. So actually, victory is expected. Far fewer of them than I thought. That was a lot easier than expected in a lot of ways. Okay, we open this up. This gives us Morton, who's a ballista specialist. Does have the expert archery, has the expert artillery, expert ballistics, expert logistics, pathfinding, tactics. He's only level 20, but he's immediately the best option for our gunslingers. And in fact, Todd being level 19 is kind of struggling to keep up at this point. Ah, okay. So we have been here. Could we take on the Archdevils? No, that's going to be too much. We could grab the free Pandora's box, which for some reason was never taken. Doesn't give us much though. Okay, well Todd at least should be able to take on Dracon, that should be fine. And Wrathmont should have enough spell points. Well, it depends. We don't want to use any spell points against the sorceresses. That's the one caveat. Okay, Melchior goes into here, we're going to upgrade all of this stuff. And then, in terms of actual power stacks, he doesn't have many options. 4 Juggernauts, it wouldn't be great. So what could he do? He does have Fly. It kind of depends. If there are fights he can pretty easily take, so a lot of this stuff could actually be fine. We go to the west instead. This stuff is quite a bit tougher. Some other stuff to the southwest there, but it's not too great for us. We go to the northeast, the lots of automatons should be fine. Most of this stuff is also quite doable. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. Okay, so we're going to get a pretty middling force. It's time to bring back the armadillos. They're going to be relevant again. Yeah, this is not bad. Actually. I need 2 stacks there. Okay, so we're going to split the halflings. Melchior goes to this. Not going to be enough, of course. But then should be able to take on fights like this without too much trouble. Oh, he doesn't have a spellbook. Wow, okay. Realised that a bit too late, but could have been worse timing. Okay, Morton's going to come back too. Cuthbert has nothing to give him, and neither does Sam. Dimension Door, okay, so that gets even better. We do actually technically already have access to that with the Spellbinder's Hat, but we could give it to Melchior. He does not have air magic. Todd does though, so if we can get Todd back, that could be pretty good. Can Halon do anything good? He kind of can't. I guess we could give the Chaos Hydras to Melchior, because Melchior does have pathfinding, so it won't actually affect him too much for the movement penalty, and he of course doesn't need the Wayfarer's boots, but already has those, so never mind. Okay, so lots of air elementals. That also is probably still a bit too strong. Let's focus on resources. Then we'll start building this up a bit more, so Portal of Summoning could get us extra Kuratals and Dreadnoughts. Not this time though. Okay, so this town should be safe, just gonna end the turn there. Even without taking Town Portal into account, they're surprisingly unthreatening to us right now. Okay, perhaps spoke too soon, so Purple is approaching Lakenshire. Teal obviously recognises the threat. Lots of Wolf Riders should be fine to take on. I think we will probably leave the Dreadnought behind. Not the Dreadnought, the Automaton. Okay, so no losses expected there. Pretty sure I have the setting off that causes spell points to be used, but just gonna absolutely make sure by playing this out properly. So they don't even get a chance to attack. Finish those off, go across to here. It's slightly weaker than the previous Utopia, but still have to use the same spells, of course. Or do we? I guess we don't have to. So this time we move first. Kill these off. Those two stacks can't reach us. Go for these. Yeah, we don't even need to use spells here. And we do get the Angel Feather Arrows. Tome of Fire Magic. So, Bow of the Sharpshooter is free for us. Although we do have it, it's not actually useful to Wrathmont specifically, but we should give it to someone else. Okay, well I think we've done enough for this part, so thanks for watching guys, I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.